What is up, guys? Welcome to the Sydney Marathon vlog for the 2023 Sydney Marathon. We just checked into the room. Got a pretty average view out there. It's not the nice scenic Sydney view, but it's alright. Thank you for Sydney Marathon for sorting the room out, even though they've stuffed up the booking because it was the room has been booked for Friday and Saturday night instead of Saturday and Sunday, so we need to somehow get it booked for Sunday as well, so hopefully we can sort that out. I haven't got my bib yet. The bib was supposed to be at reception and can't find that either, so a few dramas going on already, but that's alright. Got other things to worry about. Trying to get a heap of carbs in today, did the same yesterday, got plenty of carbs in. Got like a heap of rice, chicken here, so gonna have one of these now. I did prepare these up back home and I bought another one for dinner as well, so just trying to obviously eliminate having too much food that just buying it from somewhere, just making sure it's already ready so I know what it is and just sticking to the plan. Then also having a heap of electrolytes today as well, and I've also been having a heap yesterday too. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna go check out Sydney soon, probably head down to the race exhibition thing and just check out the harbour and stuff. So welcome to the vlog. Alright, we have just been at the shops for most of the day, and then we just had a nap when we came home. Been eating a lot of food, haven't we? And now we're gonna go for a little shakeout run down near the harbour. So I got my little camera. I'll see you guys down there. We are back in the room. Hope you guys enjoyed the little video of the shakeout run. We did 3 kilometers, went really good, just cruisy. Legs felt really good, but I've actually done, I think, 16,000 steps, so feet are up for the rest of the day. Just had some watermelon drink, and I'll probably just be having more electrolytes. Finished my dinner, so it's now like 6 o'clock. This will be my last meal. And then if I do get a little bit hungry later, I might have like a muffin, but yeah, I think we're just gonna chill out for the rest of the night, maybe watch some Netflix or something, and then yeah, it's game on in the morning. Alright guys, we're gonna go through the race kit. So Alice KD white race singlet, got the number pinned on there, used the Gold Coast Marathon pins that I got from there. And then we are moving down, we've got these new racing tights. Now these, I haven't worn these for a race. They're very similar to the other ones, but they have a liner, drawstring, to be honest, way better than the other ones, so I'm keen to give those a go. We've got 2 bottles there, 2 soft bottles, so I'm going to take one of those at the start. They both have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, so 2 of those electrolyte sachets from BPN in there. So I'm going to have one at the start and then one about halfway. I'm going to swap over and just so I don't have to carry both. I've got electrolyte tablets there. They have about 400 milligrams of sodium each. And then I've got Alice KD Performance socks, the Oakley Radar Sunnies, and then I've got the trusty old Vaporfly version 1 here, which is still probably my favourite pair of shoes, especially for a marathon. And then we have 6 gels now. These are just from Pure Sport. I mean, not Pure Sport, whatever, Pure Nutrition and Endura for the moment until the BPM ones come out. But yeah, we're ready to go. Alright guys, we've just been watching the footy for a bit, but we're going to head to bed shortly. It's about 8:30 at the moment, so we're going to try to get a good amount of sleep, wake up at 4 AM, and then it's race day. Let's do it. Alright, coffee is down the hatch. Now we have 2 scoops of G1M Sport in here, and then we're just going to go straight in the water with that. And then we're also going to add 1 scoop of electrolytes as well. So that will be around 1200 milligrams of sodium and around 50 grams of carbs. And then we're going to make some breakfast as we sip on this. Alright, breakfast going down. 1 English muffin, 1 banana and some honey on top as well. So it's about nearly 5 o'clock now, so race is at 7:10. So getting this fueling in early. G1M Sport and electrolytes here as well. So we're going to try get all this down and then we're going to head off in about half an hour. Alright guys, so it is 5:23. We're just going to go downstairs and meet Steph from the agency. She's going to take us across to the start line and then yeah, it's go time. This is the fit that we got on. We got Alice Katie oversized tee and then we got the singlet underneath. The tights, I pretty much showed you guys everything last night, but yeah, just in case it's a little bit cold, got the long sleeve on and then I might just take that off and yeah, we'll warm up at the start line and get started. Alright, we're just down near the finish line at the Opera House. We're about to get the water taxi across over here to the start line over near the bridge. So have a look out here. No clouds at all. Ready to go, ready to warm up, so we'll see you guys over there. Guys, some of you probably already know this part of the video, but it's currently Monday morning, so the race was yesterday. Didn't go to plan at all. Some pretty big issues and yeah, ended up finishing, but it was a disaster. So nearly got to the end, but the heat got to me. I will do a full rundown when we get home, so yeah, the rest of the video I'll go through the race fully, but we're about to check out, head back to the Gold Coast, and yeah, shall see you guys at home. We are back home. It's currently Tuesday now, so race was on Sunday, travelled home yesterday, and yeah, just been trying to recover and stuff ever since. My body has probably never been this sore in my life, even way more sore than the 100k as well. All my muscles, both my calves, my quads, especially my glute as well. I just completely just feels like I've done the most intense leg workout in the world. Every time I sit down, it's hard to get up and stuff, but yeah, it was just a brutal race. I'm gonna go through it now, pretty much from start to finish, and let you guys know what happened. I did eventually finish the race at just over 4 hours, but yeah, at the 40k mark, I kind of stopped to a walk, stumbled, and yeah, kind of blacked out and woke up in the paramedics tent. But let's start from the very start of the race. So there was 3-hour paces and there was 2:45 paces. So because I already knew it was going to be a very hot day, I think 16 degrees or something when we started, which is not ideal for a race to start at. And by 9 a.m. it was already 24 degrees Celsius. So very hot day. Knew that was going to be the case. But yeah, I just thought, let's start strong and then try to hold on for the rest of the race, because yeah, I knew that it was going to be cooler for the first half of the race. I would have been running on fresh legs and it was just going to be easier. So that's pretty much how we started. I was like, all right, let's start kind of running with that 2:45 pacer, which is what I did. Ran, as you can see, I'll show the splits, ran like the first half of the race at around an hour 25, so was on track, but I knew pretty much from, I would say as early as like the 11k mark, that I wasn't feeling that great at all. And yeah, I think I did for one go too hard at the start rather than sticking around that 4-minute pace. I probably thought, oh, I'm just gonna run at 3:55s or whatever the paces are kind of running at to try bank some time. And the downfall of that is my heart rate was probably way too high, way too early. Another thing, I really underestimated how many hills were on the course. They have changed the course a little bit, and I just do not remember that many hills being on that course, and it ended up a nightmare. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were the same. The heat plus hills, it was just heart rate coming up and just struggling going up hills and just not really being able to get that back on the downhill either. So it was just a combination of a lot of bad things going wrong. But I got through the first half, and yeah, like I mentioned, I wasn't feeling that great at all. Came back, so all the city kind of running was done, and then we headed out to Centennial Park, got out there, hit that halfway mark, and then pretty much, like it seems to always happen when I've only ever ran one other marathon, but it seems to happen every time. I hit like an hour and a half and my body just starts to cramp. I try to do all I can with loading up on plenty of sodium, being well hydrated. I feel like, I've done all the right training this time as well. And I don't know if it comes down to just starting that race way too hard. That could have obviously been part of the issue as well, but yeah, started to cramp. But the kind of good thing was that as I was kind of cramping, it wasn't anything major, and I was able to kind of still stick around that 4:10 pace to 4:20, and I knew that the 250 sub 250 goal was out of the way, but I was still going to be happy with like a PR. And that's how pretty much the rest of the race went. I was working out numbers in my head, just thinking, all right, this will still be good if I can scrape in maybe 255 to 257, like somewhere in between there, which I was pretty much on track. And just kept pushing, kept having more salt tablets. Now that could have also been a contributor. Maybe I took way too much sodium as well during the race, and maybe not enough fluids by themselves. So yeah, all things that I'm obviously going to learn and maybe have to do a little bit more research and trial some more things in training. But pretty much continued throughout the race, ran through Centennial Park, was just really struggling, not enjoying it at all. And the sun was really starting to beat down on us at this point. Every time we ran, the shade wasn't too bad, but every time we were in the sun, like you could really feel it. There wasn't there was no clouds at all in the sky. And like I mentioned, around 9 a.m, which I still had 1/3 of the race to go. It was already like 24 degrees Celsius, which is like not many people train in that temperature, and running at that kind of pace, not ideal. I think my heart rate was up around 180 from like past the halfway point, was like heart rate was up around 180, and then it jumped upwards of 190, which I think pretty much must have been the main issue with why I just got to that 40k mark and I just collapsed. But yeah, came out of Centennial Park, wasn't feeling great, but it was just at that point it was just kilometre by kilometre, and just looking at the time, and I was kind of still confident. I was like, well, at one point near the end, I was like, I just need to kind of run like 5-minute kilometres, which is pretty damn slow for me, and I'd still get like under 3 hours and a pretty like decent time. But there were so many hills on this course, it was constantly up and down, and I was okay with the downhills, but it was pretty much the very last hill. I knew if I could get to the top of this hill, it was pretty much a downwards kilometre and I would have been at the finish line. But yeah, hit that 40k mark, the very last hill started just like kind of stopping and just like stumbling a bit, and obviously I tried to never give up and just keep going and going and going, and tried to get the jog on again, and kind of really just stumbled, and kind of just like sat down on the curb and was like all over the place. I only like kind of remember more of it now, but at that day I couldn't really remember much at all after it just happened. But some guy came and he sat down next to me. I think he was like a volunteer guy, and luckily I think there was a paramedics tent maybe a few hundred meters away, but they must have kind of gotten me over there, and I just kind of came to it, and I was laying like in this kind of bed thing, and I just felt like my heart was just pumping out of my chest. I was so hot, and I was just in so much shock and kind of adrenaline and stuff that I was like freaking out, like so many people around me kind of, and I was just telling them like that I needed to cool down. I need you to pour cold water on my back and like all over my head. Like I felt like I was just like, and then when I was laying down, they were taking all my readings and stuff, and I could see like my chest was just pumping like crazy. It's probably like the scariest experience of my life, and like it kind of like clicked in my head. I was like, oh, is this like how people actually like pass away from running like marathons? Does your heart, does something just stop to your heart? Like I've never been in that position where I've been worried to that extent, and I just kind of kept like thinking in my head and thinking about like friends and family and my girlfriend and stuff like that, and how like if I didn't like calm myself down, that something really bad was probably going to happen. And I just kind of laid there and tried to control my breathing as much as I could, and my core body temperature started to cool down and stuff, but it probably wasn't for another 45 minutes or so that I could actually kind of lift myself up a little bit. I did end up like kind of vomiting a fair bit as well, and I got up, all my legs, my whole body was just cramping like crazy. I could hardly even move my body, and then I kind of eventually, the only way that I could get back to Katie and was pretty much to walk the rest of it and get back to the finish line, which I was about 2 seconds away. I walked about 20 meters and I was probably 2 seconds away from just ripping my number off my chest and just like cutting it through the park or something just to get there faster. But I ended up just walking the rest. There was people kind of cheering, trying to get me to keep on going and stuff, and I was just cooked. And then eventually got back to the finish line at like 4 hours, and kind of Katie said I looked like Homer Simpson. I was that yellow, which obviously I just don't know. But those things happen. I stand by kind of what I did that day, and not kind of didn't give up on myself. I just gave it 110%, and yeah, a lot to learn from it. Through this whole process, like the training and everything has been so enjoyable, and the race would have just been like something kind of to top it off, but like it is what it is, and I'm not really down on myself at all. I think next year I'm going to focus on doing the Gold Coast Marathon. It's obviously in the middle of winter, very flat course. I think both those factors just make a massive difference. There was a lot of people that day that just didn't run anywhere near their potential due to how hilly it was, the temperature and all that stuff. So it is what it is. You learn from every single marathon. I'm glad I did it. I want to thank Sydney Marathon for sending me down, and always being so great for me with all of that. I hope it really does become one of the world majors at some stage. But that's pretty much what happened, guys. I hope you guys have a little you know what happens now. So I want to also mention and say like thanks for, I reckon there was maybe 50 to 100 people that yelled out my name, like from the other side, that were running as well. Like people coming up to me said that they watch my videos and all that type of stuff. So I appreciate all you guys always supporting me. And this obviously isn't the last race. I'll get my body right over the next few weeks, and we'll assess things and see what's next. But thank you guys for watching the video. I'm heading to Bali tomorrow, so stay tuned for the next video, which will be a Bali vlog. But thanks guys, see you later.